Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in this evening, I should say. My name is Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. I'm coming to you live from Warren Field in Brookline, Massachusetts, for some Lou Tompkins All-Star League baseball action between hosting Brookline and visiting Muddy River. It's the top of the first inning. We got the first batter up, and he's popping it up over to second base, and it's hauled in by the second baseman for Brookline, number 3, Donnell O'Neill. Brookline has number 6, Jack Martel, on the mound. And that was Muddy River's number 13 popping out for the first out here in the top of the first inning. My apologies, coming in a little late here. Was trying to track down some rosters. Unfortunately, did not get Muddy River's roster. As we see, the second batter takes the first pitch high for ball 1. The 1-0 pitch from Martel. Catches the high corner for strike 1. It's a 1-1 count to the second Muddy River hitter. The 1-1. In there for strike 2. Martel bringing some heat on that one. 1-2 now the count. The 1-2 pitch comes in high, and that'll be ball 2. So 2-2 the count, 1 out and nobody on. Pitch from Martel, and he just barely gets contact. It's a slow dribbler down the first base line. Picked up by Martel, scooped over to Eli Rothman at first base for the easy 1-3 ground out. So number 8 grounds out for the second out of the inning, and now we have number 12 at the plate. Martel delivers, and this one is fouled to the backstop for strike 1. We've got a cloudy day out here at Warren Field in Brookline, Massachusetts, and the field conditions not exactly perfect, but most of the retained wetness from the previous day's rain seems to have just been relegated to the foul territory as that pitch comes in outside for ball 1. The game, of course, was originally planned to be played yesterday, but then was postponed due to the bad weather. This pitch comes in high for ball 2. 2-1 the count to number 12. The 2-1 pitch. Swung on and missed, and that'll be strike 2. 2 outs and nobody on here in the top of the first inning of this Lou Tompkins All-Star League game between hosting Brookline and visiting Muddy River. Pitch from Martel comes in high, and the count is now full. Payoff pitch. Swung on and missed, and he gets him swinging. 1-2-3. Muddy River goes down in order. And now Brookline will be coming up to the plate. Again, my apologies for the abrupt start to this broadcast. Once again, my name is Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan, coming to you live from Warren Field in Brookline, Massachusetts, for this Lou Tompkins 17 and under game between hosting Brookline and visiting Muddy River. Due up for Brookline. We'll take a look at their full lineup, actually. I was able to get the Brookline lineup. Unfortunately, was not able to get Muddy River, so I'm going to fill in the blanks as I go the best I can. For Brookline, the lineup today, leading off and playing center field, number 11, Brage Golding. Batting second, playing first base, number 10, Eli Rothman. Batting third, the shortstop, number 0, Andrew Silverman. In the cleanup spot, the left fielder, number 12, Daniel Villa. Batting fifth, and as you just saw on the mound today, number 6, Jack Martel. Batting sixth, the extra player, I guess you could technically call it a designated hitter. They might have a different term in this league, and that's number 16, Jake Levin. Batting seventh and playing third base is number 9, Sam Polgreen. Batting eighth, the catcher. Unfortunately, I don't have the jersey number or first name for this young man. I wasn't able to get it yet, but I should get it soon, and that is Kessler. So if anyone's got the first name and wants to let me know in the live chat, please do. I want to give these young men the best coverage I can. So Kessler behind the plate and batting eighth. Batting ninth, the second baseman, number 3, Donnell O'Neill. And if I'm reading my lineup card correctly, then batting 10th for Brookline will be the right fielder, number 71, Declan Tracy. So that's the lineup for Brookline today. Seem to be going with a 10-man batting order, which I think is allowed within the rules of the Lou Tompkins League. Might not be what you see at the high school level, but this is a little different. So the southpaw pitcher for Muddy River, number 4, takes to the mound to face Brookline's leadoff hitter, number 11, Brage Golding. Slices the first pitch over the backstop, and that's going to be strike 1 to Golding. So 0-1, the count to Golding. Pitch. Skips in the dirt, and that's going to be ball 1. So a 1-1 count, as it's lefty versus lefty, a rare matchup you don't often see at this level. Pitch. He caught him with the curveball there, a bit of an off-speed. And Golding was already starting to go around. He just had to try and chase it, and he couldn't quite reach it. 1-2, the count to Golding. Pitch. That one drops low as well. Couldn't fool him that time. Count is 2-2. I like the idea, though. You got him chasing once. See if you can get him chasing again when you've got a pitcher's count. Now the 2-2. And he swings low and chops it foul over to the backstop. That'll keep the count at 2-2. Two and two. Wind up in the pitch. And he slaps this one. It's going to be a grounder over to second, fielded by the second baseman, thrown to first for the 4-3 ground out. So first batter down as the second baseman, number 8, fielded it pretty cleanly. Now coming to the plate with 1 out and nobody on, the first baseman, number 10, Eli Rothman. First pitch. Catches the corner for strike 1 to Rothman. Number 4 sets, and the 0-1. And good contact here. That's going to go into center field, and that's going to drop for a base hit. Eli Rothman with a clean single to center. And we've got our first hit and first base runner of the day. 1 out, runner on first, and coming to the plate, the shortstop, number 0, Andrew Silverman. Rothman takes his lead off from first, and they throw back to first, trying to keep him honest there. Now the first pitch to Silverman. Catches the outside corner for strike one. And you could see Rothman starting to lean back to the bag just in case there was another pickoff attempt. So they've got him thinking now. He certainly does not want to leave that base empty. That pitch and a throw back to first. Pitch came in high, maybe a bit outside. And that was called ball one. 1-1 the count. And another throw back to first. Rothman dives back. Count still 1-1 to Silverman. And now Rothman's taking off, and the pitch gets away from the catcher. Rothman successfully steals second, in part thanks to the passed ball. That's also going to be ball two. So 2-1 the count now to Silverman. And a runner now in scoring position. Pitch, and he gets contact but sends it foul down the third base line. So 2-2 the count to Andrew Silverman. Eli Rothman stands at second. One out here in the bottom of the first. Brookline trying to put the first run on the board. The pitch. He slices this one high. If it stays in play, it might be caught. The catcher trying to get under it, and he can't quite catch it. Those high sky balls, I mean, when they're coming down, gravity will get you there. Just starts coming down so fast. And unfortunately, the catcher lost track. Count remains 2-2 to Silverman. Two-two pitch again, and he skies this one out. This one's going out to deep right. It's being chased, and it's dropped by the right fielder. Rothman is going to take off. Silverman's going to get down to second, and that'll put runners at second and third. So a two-base error there by the right fielder. I believe that's number 3 out in right field. And so now 2 runners in scoring position. And coming up is the cleanup hitter and left fielder, number 12, Daniel Villa. And the first pitch gets slightly away from the catcher, but Rothman decides not to take off. I think they called that one a ball. I think they said it was just a bit inside. So Rothman stands just 90 feet from the game's first run. Silverman just 180 feet from potentially the game's second run. Good chance for Brookline here. Second and third, one out here in the bottom of the first. The pitch to Villa. Comes in high. And if I'm not mistaken, that's ball 2. Number 4 sets. Here's the pitch. This one comes in low, and that's another ball. And actually the count is 2-1, so that first pitch was a strike. So the count is 2-1 to Villa. The pitch. That one comes in high as well. That'll be ball 3. 3-1 the count as the pitcher, number 4, having a little trouble finding his spot. The 3-1 pitch. That one misses, and that's going to be ball 4. A 5-pitch walk for Daniel Villa, and they load the bases for the pitcher, number 6, Jack Martel. Martel took care of business on the mound in the top of the first. Can he take care of business at the plate here in the bottom half? Bases loaded, 1 out. The pitch. And he hits a high grounder over to the shortstop, fielded, thrown to first, and they get the ground out, but a run comes in. An RBI 6-3 ground out for Jack Martel brings Rothman to the plate, and Brookline is now on the board 1-0. So now 2 outs, runners at second and third. Coming to the plate, the extra player, number 16, Jake Levin. First pitch to Levin. Catches the low corner, strike 1. Silverman stands at third, Villa at second. 2 outs here in the bottom of the first, and Brookline leads 1-0. This pitch, he slaps it as a hard grounder, back to the shortstop again, throw back to first, and he's got him for the 3rd out of the inning. So back-to-back 6-3 groundouts end the first inning for Brookline, but not before they get on the board. That first inning started with a 4-3 groundout by the leadoff hitter, Brage Golding. Then Eli Rothman followed up with what would turn out to be the only hit of the inning, a single to center field. He stole second in part thanks to a passed ball. And then Andrew Silverman reached on a 2-base error by the right fielder. And that sent Rothman over to third. Daniel Villa walked to load the bases, and then Jack Martel hit a 6-3 groundout that brought in Rothman before Jake Levin hit another 6-3 groundout to end the inning. 1-0 Brookline leads here at Warren Field in Brookline, Massachusetts. And Jack Martel, after the RBI groundout, returns to the mound. He took care of business in the top of the first inning. Got the first 3 batters, numbers 13, 8, and 12. Got them down in order. A pop out to second, a ground out back to the pitcher, and a strikeout swinging. Unfortunately, I was not able to get Muddy River's roster in time. Some of their players were a little late arriving, and so they weren't able to get me a roster quickly enough. So I'm going to do the best I can with the information that I have. Leading off for Muddy River is going to be number 17. This is the first baseman. Martel winds and delivers. This one skips in low for ball 1. Skips away from the catcher, Kessler, but fortunately, no damage there. And this pitch is hit. It's a hard grounder over to short, fielded by Silverman. Throw to first, jump, catch, tag for the out. A nice play at first base by Eli Rothman, turning what could have been a reach-on error into a simple 6-3 ground out. And as fate would have it, I've just been handed the Muddy River lineup, so big thanks to the coach for that one. That was number 17, Francisco Piguero, who grounded out on that one. And now batting is number 3, I believe the right fielder, Arabel Sanchez. This pitch comes in low for ball 2. And no, actually, this is number 21. I'm misreading my order here. This is number 21, the shortstop, Oliver Whiner. 2-0 the count to Whiner, and this one skips in low for ball 3. So a quick hitter's count here for Whiner. The 3-0 pitch from Martel Slaps this one foul to the backstop, and that'll be a 3-1 count. One out, nobody on here in the top of the second. 3-1, swung on and missed, and Martel has fought his way back to a full count. The payoff pitch, and he hits high, slow bouncer, foul down the third base line. So count still full to the shortstop, Oliver Whiner. Martel, the payoff pitch again, and this time gets him swinging. Second strikeout of the game thus far for Jack Martel. And now coming up will be the right fielder, number 3, Arabel Sanchez. 2 outs, nobody on. First pitch. Catches the corner for strike 1. Sanchez certainly looking for some redemption here at the plate. His dropped catch out in right field in the bottom of the first is part of what allowed Brookline to score. This grounder is hit hard up the middle, fielded by Silverman, thrown to first, stretch out for the grab by Rothman. That's another 6-3 ground out. So that ends the top of the second. Another 1-2-3 inning for Martel on the mound. The score, Brookline 1, Muddy River 0. I'm going to take a quick mute break while I update some of my information. I'll be back shortly. Stay tuned. And I'm back. My name is Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan, and I'm here at Warren Field in Brookline, Massachusetts. Here to bring you live coverage of this Lou Tompkins All-Star League 17 and under game between hosting Brookline and visiting Muddy River. Getting ready for the bottom of the second here. Brookline leads Muddy River 1-0. Their lone scoring play, an RBI ground out to short by their pitcher, Jack Martel, that scored Eli Rothman. And now at the plate, leading off here in the bottom of the second, is the third baseman, number 9, Sam Polgreen. First pitch comes in on the outside corner for strike 1. 0-1. He hits a dribbler, but foul down the third base line. That's going to be strike 2. Starting pitcher is for Muddy River is number 4, Bailey Taylor, as he induces a slow grounder back to himself. He turns around, makes the throw, and gets him at first base for the 1-3 ground out. So some nice hustle there by the starting hurler, Bailey Taylor, as he gets the leadoff ground out. Now batting is the catcher, Kessler, Unfortunately, I don't have his first name yet, as the first pitch comes in for strike one. So if there are any Brookline fans watching here and you know Kessler's first name, please tell me. I want to know as soon as possible so I can give this man the proper coverage he deserves. This pitch comes in outside for ball one. So 1-1 the count. One pitch from Taylor comes in high and outside for ball two. One out, nobody on. Brookline leads Muddy River 1-0. Taylor sets the 2-1. Comes in outside again. It's now 3-1. The 3-1 pitch. That one comes in outside, and Kessler's going to get a free trot down to first. Now batting the second baseman, number 3, Donnell O'Neill. Kessler leads off from first. One out here in the bottom of the second. Taylor winds and delivers. This one comes in inside for ball one. Looked like O'Neill might have been trying to lean into that a little bit. See if maybe he can get a free trot down to first as well from a hit by pitch, but got to be careful with that. Got to make sure it's not too egregious of a lean in. Either way, it doesn't hit him. A harmless ball one. And now a throw back to first. And I think you can tell that the Brookline base runner is a little more wary of those pickoff attempts since they are dealing with a southpaw pitcher. One and 0 the count. Now the pitch. That one comes in high for ball two. Two and 0 the count to O'Neill. Kessler leading off from first, one out. Brookline up 1-0. The pitch, and the runner takes off, and he slaps this one. It's high, it's shallow, and it's going to drop for a single. Kessler found himself between a rock and a hard place for a second there, but he safely reaches second off the bloop single from Donnell O'Neill. Now coming to the plate, the right fielder, number 71, Declan Tracy. Tracy, one of just 2 lefty hitters in the starting lineup for Brookline today, the other, of course, being the leadoff man, Brage Golding, who is now on deck. Pitch from Taylor. This one dips in low and possibly outside, ball one. Donnell O'Neill leads off from first after his bloop single. Kessler leads off from second after drawing a walk and advancing on O'Neill's hit. The 1-0 comes in low and away for ball two. So we see a more significant lead being taken off of first by O'Neill as the first baseman's not even covering. Now the pitch. That one comes in outside for ball three. You can tell Taylor is trying to get the Brookline batters chasing as he's painting the outside, trying to get some movement on his pitches. They're just not biting. As that becomes a 4-pitch walk by Declan Tracy. And now the bases are loaded Once again, second inning in a row, bases loaded with one out. And now the Muddy River coach out to talk to his starting pitcher. It's a brief meeting. And now getting ready to step up to the plate once again, the center fielder, number 11, Brage Golding. Golding grounded out to second his last time up. He's hoping for a better result here. The pitch swung on and missed, and that'll be strike one. Kessler leads off from third, O'Neill at second, Tracy at first. Brookline trying to add to a slim 1-0 lead. The 0-1 swung on and missed again, and Golding quickly in a hole, 0-2. Now the 0-2, and he gets him swinging. Golding goes down, or no, they say he got a piece of it. They say he caught a piece of it, and the catcher couldn't keep it in his glove, so Golding stays alive at 0-2. Pitch, and he skies this one high into shallow center. Center fielder's coming in, but it's collected by the shortstop. Oliver Whiner took that one instead of Ricky Guerrero. And so an almost disastrous play for the Muddy River fielders results in a simple pop out to short. Now batting the first baseman, number 10, Eli Rothman. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Pitch. Curves into the zone. Nice movement on that one by Taylor. That'll be strike one. Rothman, his last time up, hit a single to center. Later came around to score what is thus far the only run of the game. The 0-1. That one comes in outside for ball one. One and one, the count to Rothman as Taylor steps off the rubber for a second and all the runners return to their bags. Kessler at third, O'Neill at second, Tracy at first. It's been a single sandwiched in between 2 walks to load the bases for Brookline. Now the 1-1 pitch. Swung on and missed, and that'll be strike 2. Could tell Rothman wanted that one. He's looking for the RBI hit here. The 1-2 pitch. He slaps this one. This one's going to drop in right field, and that's going to bring in at least one. They're sending the runner around. They're trying for 2 runs, and now the runners are advancing to third. This might be a tag out, and they tagged out Tracy at third. A crazy high-energy play right there. Eli Rothman gets the 2-run single as both runs came in before the tag out at third. So score that one, a single to right. Kessler scores, O'Neill scores, and Tracy tagged out at third. Brookline takes a 3-0 lead. Eli Rothman carrying the offense today. He's already got 1 run scored and 2 RBIs. So he's played some kind of role in every run scored thus far by Brookline. 3-0. The score here through 2 innings at Warren Field. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. I'll take a brief mute break, but I'll be right back. Stay tuned. Hello and welcome back to Warren Field in Brookline, Massachusetts. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan bringing you live coverage of this Lou Tompkins All-Star League 17 and under A Division contest between hosting Brookline and visiting Muddy River. Brookline has been slowly building their lead through the first 2 innings of this game as we get ready for the top of the third. The score, Brookline 3, Muddy River 0. Leading off for Muddy River here in the top of the third is number 7, William Gonzalez. He takes the first pitch from Brookline's Jack Martel for strike 1. The 0-1 pitch scoops in low. It's going to be a 1-1 count. The 1-1 pitch from Martel. He gets some contact but slaps it foul down the right field side. Anytime there's a foul ball in that direction, I always start to get a little nervous. Oh, not that it's going to hit me, mind you. I don't care. I got health insurance. I'll be all right. If it hits the equipment, though, then I'm going to start to sweat a little. That's the important stuff. I'm fine. I can walk off a ball to the face, but ball to my computer? In the meantime, this is going to be a grounder back to Martel for the first out. Well fielded by the pitcher. And so that'll be 1 down here in the top of the third. Now coming to the plate, number 2, Nilko Sirafos. This pitch is fouled along the first base side and out of play. That'll be strike 1 to Sirafos. The 0-1 comes in and catches the zone for strike 2. I say this every game. If there are any fans on either team and I'm pronouncing anyone's names wrong, please let me know in the live chat, as this one hits a grounder down the third baseline and foul. So Sirafos stays alive at 0-2. One out and nobody on here in the top of the third. Pitch. That one's in there for strike 3. Caught the outside corner and caught Sirafos looking. Third strikeout of the day thus far for Jack Martel. And now coming to the plate is number 15, Jordan Marcano. First pitch is fouled to the backstop. That'll be strike 1. It's been 3 up and 3 down through each of the first 2 innings for Martel thus far. He's been cruising on the mound for Brookline. And now he's got a 0-1 count to Marcano. Pitch comes inside, close to hitting him there, but it'll be a harmless ball 1. The 1-1 pitch. Another foul to the backstop, and that'll make the count 1-2. Lined up in the pitch. That one's fouled to the backstop again. Marcano stays alive. This pitch comes in low. That's going to be ball 2. Count is now 2-2 to Marcano. 2 outs, nobody on Here in the top of the third, Brookline leads Muddy River 3-0. Now the pitch, and he gets contact that time, hits a grounder over to Polgreen at third. Long throw to first, and he's got him for the 5-3 ground out. 3 up, 3 down for the third straight inning for Jack Martel as he continues to cruise. 3-0, still the score in favor of Brookline through 2.5 innings. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan, happy to bring you live coverage of this Lou Tompkins All-Star League 17 and under A division game. If you're enjoying the broadcast, be sure to hit that subscribe button to stay up to date on what I've got coming on. Make sure to hit that like button as well. I always appreciate that. Feel free to participate in the live chat. Anything you want to say, either about the game or the broadcast or anything. I encourage audience participation as much as possible. And so Taylor comes back out onto the mound. He hasn't given up any major breakthroughs so far, but he's given up at least a run in each of the first 2 innings. He gave up 1 run in the first inning and 2 in the second. Coming to the plate for Brookline, the shortstop, number 0, Andrew Silverman. He skies this one high. It's into shallow center, being tracked and caught by the shortstop. Hauled in by Whiner once again. Second straight inning, he's caught a pop-up in around that shallow center area where other players could call for it. Smart plays he's making. You know, that's what you want from the captain of your infield. Now batting, following Silverman's out, we have the left fielder, number 12, Daniel Villa. And he slaps the first pitch up the middle, past the shortstop. That's going to be a clean single. So Daniel Villa, first pitch swing from each of the first 2 hitters, actually. And so we've got 1 out and 1 man on. Now coming to the plate is the pitcher, number 6, Jack Martel. Martel, his last time up, he hit an RBI ground out to the shortstop. He's going to need a lot more than a ground out if he wants another RBI. Pitch, and he slaps this one into right field. That's going to be fair. It's being tracked down by Sanchez. Villa's heading for third. Martel holds it first, and Villa easily advances all the way to third. Back-to-back clean singles put runners on the corners here with 1 out. Coming to the plate now is the extra player, number 16, Jake Levin. Levin, his last time up, he grounded out to short to end the bottom of the first inning. He's hoping for a better result here. First pitch. Catches the high corner for strike 1. One thing Muddy River has got to watch out for, Brookline baseball tends to really like being aggressive on the base paths. We've seen 1 steal already, and they're in prime position for a double steal play here. We'll see what they decide to do. 0-1 the count. Martel does indeed take off, and the catcher does not even try. So Martel steals second. You know, on the eye test, you could call that defensive indifference, but statistically, you have to give the man the steal. The pitch to Levin gets away from the catcher, and the runner decides to hold. Dangerous play there. It was almost lost by the catcher. By my count, it is 2-1 to Levin. Runners on second and third. pitch from Taylor. That one dips in low, and he can't quite get Levin to bite. That'll be ball 3. So 3-1, unless I'm mistaken on my count here. Pitch from Taylor comes in high, and that's going to be ball 4. So Levin walks to load the bases. And now coming to the plate for Brookline will be the third baseman, number 9, Sam Polgreen. Polgreen, his last time up, he hit a slow dribbler back to the pitcher for the first out of the second inning. He's now got the bases loaded with 1 out. First pitch in there for strike 1. Brookline's been very effective at getting on the bases today and keeping up the threat in the typical Brookline small ball style. Pitch from Taylor, and he hits a dribbler. That's going to get through the gap. That's going to bring in 1, and there's a bit of interference with the runner, and oh no, he's hurt. Oh, you could see the frustration there. That's Jack Martel, who collided. I'm not sure if it was Whiner or Gonzalez. And we're going to see what they decide to do. 1 run does score. Villa scores on the single through the left gap by Polgreen. Martel at least goes to third. And Levin goes to second. We're going to see if they decide to call runner any kind of runner interference here, because Martel clearly collided with one of the fielders. And also we're going to see if Martel is okay, because, I mean, honestly, long-term, that's the bigger deal. It looks like they're just going to put Martel at third. They're not going to call any runner interference. It is going to be a 1-run single for Sam Polgreen as Daniel Villa comes in to score. And with the score now 4-0 and the base is still loaded, up comes the catcher, Kessler. And he slaps it. That's going out to left field. That's another run in. Martel scampers home. And Kessler with a 1-pitch RBI hit to left. Brookline now leads 5-0. And we got a visit out at the mound. One out, bases loaded still after back-to-back RBI singles by Sam Polgreen and Kessler. And now coming to the plate is the second baseman, number 3, Donnell O'Neill. O'Neill, his last time up, he got a bloop single to shallow right center and later came around to score. And this time he slaps a dribbler, fielded by Gonzalez at third, thrown to second, and they get Kessler on the force, but that's all they managed to get. Throw is slightly off the mark, but the 5-4 fielder's choice. Kessler out at second, but Levin scores. 6-0, and now up at the plate is number 71, the right fielder, Declan Tracy. First pitch, it hits him! A hit by pitch. O'Neill goes to second, and the bases are now loaded. 2 outs now with the bases loaded for the leadoff hitter, Brage Golding. Golding 0 for 2 thus far. He grounded out to second to start the first inning and then popped out to the shortstop in the second inning. So the leadoff hitter has now hit in every single inning so far. And he hits a dribbler over to first. It's juggled but collected, tagged by Piguero. And that's going to end the third inning. So an exciting bottom of the third inning for Brookline, and their offense is just getting better and better. 1 run in the first, 2 runs in the second, and 3 in the third, and they now lead Muddy River 6-0. Summarizing that bottom of the third inning, Andrew Silverman led off with a pop out to the shortstop just beyond the infield dirt. Daniel Villa slapped a single up the middle. Jack Martel hit a single to right that advanced Villa all the way to third. Jake Levin drew a walk to load the bases. Sam Polgreen hit a single through the left gap that scored Villa. Was a bit scary for a second as Martel, running from second to third, collided with one of the infielders and looked like he might have come up a little hobbled. But ultimately, he's okay. And so that made it 4-0 at the time. Then Kessler followed up with a single to left that drove in Martel and made it 5-0. And then Donnell O'Neill grounded into a 5-4 fielder's choice. Kessler was out at second, but Levin scored to make it 6-0. Declan Tracy was hit by a pitch. And then Brage Golding grounded out to first unassisted to end the inning. It looks like we got a substitution out in right field. This is now number 54, Ryan Kravitz. Looks like he's subbing in for Declan Tracy. Now coming to the plate for Muddy River, I think is a player that I don't have on my roster. This is number 10, it looks like. His first pitch to him is a strike. Next pitch is in there for strike 2. And yeah, I don't have number 10 on my roster. So I'm not sure what's going on here, but the 0-2 pitch hits a high bouncer, picked up at third by Polgreen, thrown to first for the 5-3 ground out. You know, it's kind of impressive to me as the leadoff hitter and center fielder, number 13, Ricky Guerrero, comes to the plate for Muddy River. It's kind of impressive to me as we really haven't seen too many big fielding mistakes. First pitch from Martel comes in outside for ball 1. I mean, we had the 1-2 base error in right field in the bottom of the first inning, but aside from that, as the 1-0 pitch skips in the dirt for ball 2. 2-0 now the count to Guerrero. 1 out and nobody on here in the top of the 4th. Brookline leads 6-0. Pitch, and he hits a slow roller foul down the third base line. So that'll be strike 1. So 2-1 the count to Guerrero. Pitch from Martel comes in outside for ball 3. Three-one pitch. That one just catches the outside corner for strike 2. Count is now full to Guerrero. He's trying to become the first base runner to reach first safely for Muddy River. Payoff pitch. Fouls to the backstop, and Guerrero stays alive. So count still full. Another payoff is golfed foul over the backstop, and again Guerrero fighting, and he stays alive. Now the pitch. This one skips in low, and we've got our first base runner for Muddy River. Guerrero fights his way to a walk, and the perfect game is done. One out, runner now at first, and coming to the plate, the second baseman, number 8, Danny Haslam. Now that we're at our second time through the order, I have the names and jersey numbers of the Muddy River players. How? Oh, please tell me my internet did not just cut out there. Please, please tell me my internet did not miss that play. That was insane. How did Golding make that catch? An insane diving catch by Brage Golding in shallow center field. And he managed to pick off Guerrero at first and end the 4th inning. Oh, please tell me that's not when my internet cut out. I got a notification that my internet cut out, and then the reconnection literally happened right after the play as the Muddy River coach is now trying to argue it with the officials. Oh, please tell me I caught that. Oh, I'm going to be so mad if I didn't catch that. I'm going to have to check the tape after I get home today. Oh, please tell me I got that. Oh my goodness. We've got a new pitcher for Muddy River as we get ready to start the bottom of the 4th inning. This is the starting shortstop, and that's Whiner. Oliver Whiner. He takes over for the starting pitcher, Bailey Taylor. Taylor pitched 3 innings. He's currently on the hook for the loss, if nothing changes in terms of the leader in this game. And moving to shortstop will be Marcano. Taking the spot that was once occupied by Weiner. So due up for Brookline, facing off against the new pitcher as we continue with our warm-ups. Due up will be the 2, 3, and 4 hitters, so that is Rothman, Silverman, and Villa. The score, once again, is Brookline 6, Muddy River 0. Brookline scored 1 in the first, 2 in the second, and 3 in the third. If patterns continue, then we could have a 10-0 game and a possible run rule finish in our hands. I don't know if they have the run rule here in the Lou Tompkins League. I know that's a thing in high school ball. But, I mean, if Brookline were to keep their offensive growth going at the same rate, then we'd certainly find out. First pitch is in there for strike 1 to Rothman. Second pitch is high for ball 1. 1-1 pitch. Skips in the dirt. That's going to be ball 2. Rothman has had a very productive day thus far as this pitch comes in, swung on and missed for strike 2. Rothman so far 2 for 2 with a pair of singles, a run scored, and 2 RBIs. Now facing a 2-2 count. The pitch comes in low for ball 3, and the count is now full. Payoff pitch. He manages to reach out and send it foul over the backstop. Rothman stays alive with a full count. Whiner sets. Another payoff pitch. And he gets him swinging. No, they say he got a piece of it. For a second, I thought that was a dropped third strike, but no. Rothman got a piece of it, and the catcher couldn't quite haul it in. Pitch, and was that swinging? They're saying it was, but the catcher dropped it. He throws down to first. He didn't get him in time. It was juggled at first base. I don't even know what to say on that one. Was that an E2 and E3? Hard to say, but either way, Rothman gets a break there and gets to reach base safely for the 3rd straight plate appearance, even if it's on a dropped third strike. Now batting is the shortstop, number 0, Andrew Silverman, and he takes the first pitch high for ball 1. Silverman technically 0 for 2 today. He reached on an E9 in his first at bat as the pickoff attempt for Rothman is unsuccessful. Second at bat for Silverman, he popped out to short to lead off the 3rd inning. And now here he is batting second in the 4th. Rothman takes off. The pitch is outside. Throw down to second is a little late and not in time. Seemed like the catcher was a little slow to realize that Rothman had taken off, and his throw was just a little off the mark. So I believe that is Rothman's 2nd steal of the day. Pitch to Silverman. Skips low and away from the catcher. Rothman's taking off for 3rd. Throw down to 3rd, and Rothman slides in safely. So Rothman all the way down to 3rd. And if I'm not mistaken, it's a 3-0 count to Silverman. Pitch. That one skips away from the catcher again, but no advancement this time as it becomes a 4-pitch walk to Andrew Silverman. What a weird day he's had. A pop-out, a walk, and a 2-base error. And now coming to the plate with runners on the corners is the left fielder, number 12, Daniel Villa. First pitch to Villa comes in outside for ball 1. Silverman was thinking about taking off on that one, decided against it, but I mean, you might as well just put him at second base now because they're going to try for a double steal again as they take off on this pitch, and as expected, no throw. It is a strike. Silverman goes down to second uncontested. And there are now runners at 2nd and 3rd. Pitch. This one comes in low for ball 2. 2-1 the count to Villa. His last time up, he singled at the middle and later came in to score on an RBI hit by Sam Polgreen. Time before that, he drew a walk. This pitch, I think they said he checked the swing on that one. That's going to make it 3-1. 3-1 the count. Runners at 2nd and 3rd. Nobody out. And the pitch And he skies this one, heading to the tennis courts. Look out, and it catches a tree, and everybody's okay. That's a nice little feature there. They got the trees to catch any potential foul balls that might head at the innocent people playing pickleball over on the courts. This pitch is swung on and missed, and that'll be strike 3 to Villa. So Villa goes down swinging. And now with 1 out in the inning, coming up is the pitcher, number 6, Jack Martel. Martel has been nothing short of brilliant on the mound so far, as this pitch is swung on and missed for strike 3. Strike 1. Puh. I can count, I swear. Last time up, Martel hit a single to right. Later came in to score on an RBI hit by Kessler. This pitch comes in inside for a ball 1. Martel's first at bat, he hit an RBI ground out to short to drive in Eli Rothman. So he's 1 for 2 with a run scored and an RBI, and now facing a 1-1 count. And he slices this one high. It's being tracked by Gonzalez. He's under it, and he's got it. So a pop out to third is the second out of the inning. And now coming up with 2 outs and 2 runners on, the extra player, number 16, Jake Levin. First pitch to Levin comes in high for ball 1. Levin, his last time up, drew a walk and later came in to score on a fielder's choice hit by Donnell O'Neill. He was the last Brookline runner to score, as this pitch comes in low for ball 2. Before that, Levin hit a ground out to short to end the bottom of the first inning. So 0 for 1 with a walk and a run scored. Pitch from Whiner. Catches the zone that time. That'll make it 2-1. Pitch. That one comes inside and gets away from the catcher, but the runners decide to hold. 3-1 the count. Two outs. Runners at second and third. Pitch. And that one comes in low, and that's another walk for Levin. The bases are loaded. And coming to the plate is the third baseman, number 9, Sam Polgreen. Levin leading off of first, Silverman at second, Eli Rothman at third. Pitch comes in high for ball 1. Polgreen, his last time up, hit a single through the left gap that drove in Daniel Villa. This pitch comes in inside again for ball 2. His first time up, Polgreen grounded out back to the pitcher, so he's 1 for 2 with an RBI. Currently facing a 2-0 count. Pitch from Whiner, he swings on and misses. 2-1 the count. Pitch comes in low, and that's going to be ball 3. 3-1 the count to Polgreen. Two outs, bases loaded. Oliver Weiner trying to get out of this one, but he can't, and that's going to be a bases loaded walk. Eli Rothman scores. Silverman to third. And Jake Levin down to second. And Brookline takes a 7-0 lead over Muddy River. We got another meeting at the mound between the coach and his relief pitcher, Oliver Whiner, who's had some tough luck this inning, to say the least. It got off to a bad start. Eli Rothman, he got him swinging, but a dropped third strike and a throwing error, either a throwing or a catching error, whatever you want to call it, but an error on the throw to first allowed Rothman to reach safely. If that hadn't happened, this inning would be over already. Next up, you have a walk by Andrew Silverman, a strikeout to Villa, and a pop out by Martel. But then a walk by Levin loaded the bases, and then a walk by Polgreen brought the runner in. And now batting with the bases still loaded is the catcher, Kessler. 1-0, and he swings and misses that one. Count is now 1-1. Kessler, his last time up, swung on the first pitch and hit a single to left that drove in Martel. And before that, he drew a walk and later came in to score on a 2-run single by Rothman. So 1 for 1 with a walk, a run, and an RBI for Kessler. Pitch, and he slices this one, and that one bloops foul. 1-2, the count to Kessler. Weiner trying to mitigate the damage here. He has allowed one unearned run so far this inning. And of course, thanks to the error, every run this inning will be unearned, as that ball misses outside for ball 2. Because again, if it wasn't for the error on the dropped third strike for Rothman, then this inning would already be over. We'd already be in the top of the 5th. Pitch, swung on and missed, and that'll be strike 3. Gets him swinging on the 2-2 pitch, and that ends the inning. So he started off with a reach on a dropped third strike and a throwing error by Eli Rothman. He stole second and advanced to third on a wild pitch. Silverman walked. Villa struck out swinging after Silverman stole second. Martel popped out to third. Levin walked to load the bases, and Polgreen drew a bases-loaded walk to drive in Rothman before Kessler struck out swinging to end the 4th inning. We are through 4, and Brookline leads Muddy River 7-0. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan, and I'll be back after a short mute break. Stay tuned. And I'm back. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan here at Warren Field in Brookline, Massachusetts. Happy to be bringing you live coverage of this Lou Tompkins All-Star League 17 and under A Division baseball game between Brookline and Muddy River. We're about to start the top of the 5th inning. Brookline leading 7-0, and the Brookline pitcher Jack Martel returns to the mound, and he'll be facing the left fielder, number 12, Oliver San Quentin. First pitch from Martel. He slaps it right at the third baseman, fielded by Polgreen. It's going to be a tough throw to first, and he throws it over Rothman's head. And Rothman slips and falls, but still manages to recover and get the ball quickly enough that San Quentin does not advance any further. So San Quentin reaches on an E5, and he becomes just the second base runner for Muddy River this game. Still no hits for the visiting team. And now coming up to the plate will be the first baseman, number 17, Francisco Piguero. First pitch to Piguero. Misses outside, ball 1. Piguero, his last time up, he grounded out to short to start the top of the 2nd. He's now facing a 1-0 count. Slices it foul to the backstop. That'll make it 1-1. San Quentin at first. 1-1 the count to Piguero. Pitch by Martel, and he slices this one foul and out of play. That'll make the count 1-2. Now the pitch, this one comes in high, and that'll be ball 2. Martel checking on San Quentin at first, and he throws back, but San Quentin gets back easily. Now the 2-2 pitch, runner takes off. That pitch comes in low and outside. The throw down to second skips away from Silverman and into center field. Successful steal for Oliver San Quentin. So a runner now in scoring position for the first time today for Muddy River, as they appear to be having a little bit of trouble putting the base back in its right place. Technical difficulties, I guess. Man, you ever steal a base so hard that people can't put it back? I mean, I guess if you're going to steal something, the objective is that it can't be put back, in a sense. I have never seen something like this before. He broke it. He broke the base. Oh, that's funny. That is funny. So while they try and figure out what they're going to do about that one, just to quickly recap the score here, the home team, Brookline, holds a 7-0 lead presently over visiting Muddy River here in the top of the 5th inning on a rather cloudy evening here at Warren Field in Brookline, Massachusetts. The wind is starting to blow in, and there's plenty of rain forecasted for the week this week, and certainly hope that the weather will stay clear enough for us to finish this game, as it looks like Brookline coach John Busey has tracked down a tool from the shed that will allow them to try and fix this up a little bit. I still can't believe it. San Quentin stole second so hard he broke the bag. Meanwhile, Jack Martel continuing his warm-up throws, trying to stay loose. He's got a no-hitter going through 4, as the only base runners thus far have been a walk and a reach on error. I mean, you could make a possible case that San Quentin got an infield hit there. That was a very well hit ball. It was a hard hit, but Polgreen made a great stab at it. And potentially he might have been able to throw him out at first, but his throw went way over the first baseman's head, just missed completely. And you could make the argument that he had to rush his throw because of the base runner. Again, it's one of those borderline things that just comes down to the stat keepers. So I don't know what it will officially be scored as. But in the meantime, we come back, Full count. San Quentin at second. Nobody out here in the top of the fifth. Brookline leads 7-0. Payoff pitch. And he slices this one high. And it's caught by O'Neill just inside the outfield grass. And that'll be out number 1. Now coming to the plate, the starting shortstop and relief pitcher, number 21, Oliver Whiner. Pitch from Martel comes in low for ball 1. Weiner, his last time up, he struck out swinging. This pitch, he skies foul and out of play. 1-1 the count. One pitch from Martel. He slaps this one, heading towards the middle, fielded by Silverman at short, and a 6-3 ground out. San Quentin advances to third. Silverman thought about making a play with San Quentin at third, but ultimately decided against it. So a runner just 90 feet from home here with 2 outs. And now coming to the plate, the right fielder, number 3, Arabel Sanchez. First pitch from Martel comes in high and inside. That'll be ball 1. Sanchez, his last time up, grounded out to short to end the 2nd inning. Pitch. That one comes in high. That'll be ball 2. Now the 2-0. In there for strike 1. Two and 1, the count to Sanchez. Pitch. That one catches the corner for strike 2. Martel trying to keep the shutout alive. The 2-2 pitch. Swing and miss, and it's a dropped third strike. They're going to have to throw it down to first, and they do, and that ends the inning. So Kessler drops the third strike, but recovers well enough and makes the throw to end the top of the 5th. We're through 4.5 here at Warren Field in Brookline, Massachusetts. The score, the home team, Brookline 7, the visitors, Muddy River 0. So again, if you like my broadcasts, you want to stay up to date on them, you can subscribe to the channel. You can also follow me on social media. Links to my Facebook and Instagram accounts are in the description of the video. And also, if you want to make any special requests, if you want to request I cover a game for you, you want to request perhaps a highlight video to be made of your favorite team or player that I have covered, you can do that. I charge $100 per game covered and $100 per special video. And if you're worried about the conditions of payment, links to my PayPal and Venmo accounts are also in the description of this video. So it looks like we have a defensive substitution for Muddy River. It looks like number 10 is going to take over at first base, replacing Piguero. I'm not quite sure of number 10's name. He wasn't on the roster that I was given. Possible, just don't have the name on there. In the meantime, Oliver Whiner returning for his second inning of relief. He gave up one unearned run in the bottom of the fourth. And now here in the bottom of the fifth inning, coming to the plate for Brookline will be their 9, 10, and 1 hitters, O'Neill, Tracy, and Golding. Leading off for Brookline here in the bottom of the fifth inning will be the second baseman, number 3, Donnell O'Neill. First pitch from Weiner comes in high and inside for ball 1. O'Neill, his last time up, hit into a fielder's choice at second base, which allowed Jake Levin to score. That was run number 6 back then. The 1-0 pitch. Swung on and missed, and that'll be strike 2. Before that at-bat, O'Neill hit a single to shallow right center and later came around to score. As this one is strike 2. 1-2 the count to O'Neill. He is 1 for 2 so far today with a run scored. And I think an RBI still counts if it's a fielder's choice. This pitch comes inside for ball 2. Whiner definitely working that inside part of the plate here against O'Neill. Pitch comes in just a bit outside, and that'll be ball 3. That can be the frustrating thing about these Brookline hitters. They don't chase a lot. They are very patient at the plate. They'll beat you with walks. You know, they're not proud. They don't need a bunch of extra base hits in order to score, as we've seen today. They have literally 0 extra base hits, and they have 7 runs on the board. Pitch from Whiner, and he manages to hit it foul to stay alive. Count still full. You know, I mean, if you want to understand Brookline baseball in a nutshell, during the Bay State Conference tournament this past spring, the Brookline High baseball team defeated Needham 15-8. They scored 15 runs, all with no extra base hits involved. And he gets him looking with the payoff pitch there. Well pitched by Whiner. And now batting, my mistake, I forgot that Declan Tracy was subbed out, as we've now got at the plate number 54, Ryan Kravitz. Pitch is in there for strike 1. Kravitz, of course, subbed in for Tracy in right field in the top of the 4th inning, and this is his first at-bat since then. He swings and misses. That'll be strike 2. The 0-2. Swung on and missed. He gets him on 3 pitches. Back-to-back strikeouts for Oliver Whiner. He is dealing here in the bottom of the 5th. And with 2 outs and nobody on, up comes the leadoff hitter and center fielder, number 11, Brage Golding. Pitch. Inside for ball 1. Golding, if I'm not mistaken, 0 for 3 thus far today. I believe he's got 2 groundouts and a pop-up. Pitch swung on and missed, and that'll be strike 1. Of course, defensively, Golding made that spectacular circus catch in shallow center and then picked the runner off at first a number of innings back, as this one comes inside for ball 2. Of course, that might have been when my internet cut out, so I don't even know if you guys got to see it. Which burns my hide, I'll tell you what. This one swung on and missed, and that'll be strike 2. Two and 2 the count, 2 outs. Muddy River trying to hold Brookline scoreless for the first frame today. This pitch is fouled to the backstop. Golding stays alive. He's looking to reach first safely for the first time today, maybe get his first hit. Count is still 2-2. Pitch. Swung on and missed, and Whiner sends them down on strikes 3 times in a row. A strikeout looking, a strikeout swinging, and another strikeout swinging ends the 5th inning. We are through 5 here at Warren Field in Brookline, Massachusetts. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. Brookline leads 7-0, and I will be back after a short mute break. Stay tuned. And welcome back. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan here at Warren Field in Brookline, Massachusetts for the top of the 6th inning. Brookline leads Muddy River 7-0. As the count to what I believe is number 7, William Gonzalez, is now 2-1. That pitch is in there for strike 2. Sorry if I seem a little out of breath. I was trying to run down to the Brookline side of the field to try and track down some last-minute information. That pitch comes in outside. Count is now full to Gonzalez. Now the payoff pitch misses, and that's going to be ball 4. Jack Martel, the starting pitcher for Brookline, has given up 1 base runner in each of the past 3 innings, 2 walks and a reach-on error, but no hits as of yet. First pitch here is high for ball 1. It looks like we might have a pinch hitter here. This one is swung on and missed for strike 1. And indeed, I think this is a different hitter hitting for the catcher, Nilko Sirafos, as this pitch comes in outside for ball 2. Can't quite see the number. This pitch catches the corner for strike 2. Two and two the count. Pitch swung on and missed, and Martel gets him swinging. Now coming up will be Marcano. Jordan Marcano. 1 out. Runner at first base. And you've probably also noticed at first base, Brookline has had a defensive substitution. Now playing first is number 7, James Redding. As we've got a hit and run, and this one is deep out to left, and it's caught! What a catch by Villa! And now they got to try and run all the way back to first on the hit and run, and it's caught, and Redding couldn't quite get there in time. That was near disaster, but a great recovery and go back out in left field by Daniel Villa. So it ends up being scored as a flyout to left, which almost feels like a criminal simplification of things. As now batting, we have number 10, who was not on the roster I was given. As we've now got a runner taking off for steal. It's a throw down by Kessler. Not going to be in time. It's skipped, but it didn't skip fast enough. So Gonzalez steals second. The 1-0 pitch, and he slaps this one foul. And if I'm not mistaken, the count is 1-1. It's getting kind of foggy here at Warren Field as we work here late in this game, and that's going to be strike 3. So I miscounted the count. And that'll be the second strikeout of the inning and third out of the inning in the top of the 6th. Jack Martel has worked a no-hitter through 6 innings. There's my announcer jinx. So if he gives up a hit in the 7th, you know who to blame. So the score remains 7-0. And returning to the mound for Muddy River is the relief pitcher, Oliver Whiner. Now, ordinarily, the first batter he'd be facing here in the bottom of the 6th would be the first baseman, Eli Rothman. But Rothman was subbed out at first base for a new first baseman, James Redding. So I think we'll be seeing Redding leading off this inning. Redding was almost part of a fantastic double play. And indeed, coming to the plate for the first time today for Brookline will be the first baseman, number 7, James Redding. First pitch to Redding comes in a little bit low and outside. That'll be ball 1. The 1-0 pitch. That one comes in low for ball 2. Now the 2-0. That one catches the low corner that time. That'll be strike 1. One of the things about James Redding is he seems to have a bit more size to him than some of the other Brookline hitters, and that can give him a disadvantage with a bigger strike zone as he fouls that one bounces right into the catcher's glove, and that'll be strike 2. 2-2 the count to Redding. Pitch. Catches the inside corner. That'll be strike 3. Redding goes down looking. And now coming to the plate with 1 out will be the shortstop, number 0, Andrew Silverman. Pitch. Curves in there nicely for strike 1. Whiner is really starting to find his groove here. He struck out the last 4 batters. The last 5 batters make that he's faced. As this one comes in low for ball 1. He struck out the side in the 5th inning, sending down O'Neill, Kravitz, and Golding in order, all on strikes. And he sent down Nady Kessler to end the 4th inning. And now he led off with a strikeout against Redding. As this one's fouled to the backstop by Silverman, that'll be strike 2. Can he make it 6 straight strikeouts? Pitch comes in high and inside. That'll be ball 2. I mean, really, his relief outing started with a strikeout, but again, the dropped 3rd strike and the throwing error on the subsequent play allowed Rothman to reach safely. This one is skied foul down the first base side, and it was one picnic table away from potentially crashing into some people, but luck was favorable there. Pitch swung on and missed, and he's got Silverman swinging. 6 straight strikeouts. If you count the dropped 3rd strike from last inning, that is 8 strikeouts for Oliver Whiner here on the mound. Now up to the plate, we've got another pinch hitter for Brookline. This is number 21, Justin Liu, who takes the first pitch high for ball 1. Second pitch comes in low for ball 2. So 2-0 the count to Liu, who is batting for Daniel Villa, as this pitch comes in high for ball 3. Villa, of course, had that great catch off of Jordan Marcano in the last half inning that helped preserve the no-hitter for Martel, as this pitch catches the low corner for strike 1. Pitch. That one comes in low, and that's ball 4. So Liu gets a free trot down to first. And now coming to the plate for Brookline will be the pitcher, number 6, Jack Martel. Liu leads off from first. The pitch outside. Catcher thought about making a throw down there. Of course, they've made some defensive substitutions, as you might have noticed. Number 10 is now playing first. That is because number 17, Piguero, replaced Sirifos for behind the plate. This pitch comes in, and a throw back to first, and Liu gets back safely. I think they called strike on the pitch, so I think the count is 1-1. Now the pitch. This one catches the low inside corner for strike 2. So if I'm not mistaken, the count is 1-2. Now the pitch. This one skips in low, well covered by Piguero. That'll be ball 2. Unless I've miscounted. It looked like the ump signaled full count, but I've only counted 4 pitches thus far. Lou takes off on this pitch, and it dips in low for ball 3. So Justin Lou steals second successfully, in part thanks to a juggled pitch by the catcher. Payoff pitch. Catches the corner. That'll be strike 3. So again, 3 strikeouts in the inning for Whiner. And again, if you count the dropped third strike that Rothman reached on, he's had 3 strikeouts in each of the 3 innings of relief that he's pitched. We are through 6 here at Warren Field in Brookline, Massachusetts. Brookline leads Muddy River 7-0 here in this Lou Tompkins All-Star League 17 and under A Division contest. Brookline hoping to finish with the victory here. Of course, Brookline 1-0 coming into this game as they defeated Reading Red last week, last Wednesday. Unfortunately, I was unable to cover that game due to internet connectivity problems. But I have since found a solution to those problems, and so even if a game gets out to running again, I should be able to cover it. Of course, tomorrow, Brookline is scheduled to play a road game at Reading Black. Due to the weather, though, there are some questions about whether the game will be played in Reading or back here at Warren Field. And then, of course, on Thursday, Brookline is hosting Acton. So they're going to have 3 straight games, weather permitting, of course, because the weather's not looking great. But it could be 3 straight home games, effectively, potentially. Top of the 7th inning now. Martel returns to the mound for possibly one last inning of work. First one's a hard grounder, fielded by Silverman over at short, thrown to Reading at first, and that's the 6-3 ground out. That's out number 1. So that is a 6-3 ground out for Ricky Guerrero to lead things off. Now batting is number 8, Danny Haslam. This pitch comes in low for ball 1. Haslam, his last time up, he popped out to shallow center, and as a result, Guerrero was picked off at first. That was the crazy catch by Brage Golding, as this one comes in low for ball 2. And, you know, some great fielding like that is part of, as it seems like we're reconnected successfully. The count is 2-2 to Haslam. And the pitch comes in high for ball 3. So the count is full to number 8, the second baseman, Danny Haslam. Payoff pitch from Martel. Fouled to the backstop, and it gets stuck in the cage. Man, we've seen just about everything today. Count still full. 1 out. Pitch from Martel. Just misses low. That'll be ball 4. So that is 3 walks thus far for Martel. He's given up 3 walks and a reach-on error in terms of base runners, but no hits as of yet, and it looks like they're going to pull him out. So they're not going to let Martel finish this one. Maybe it's a pitch count thing. Maybe they just decided, you know, that they didn't want to, that he was starting to wind down. But I feel like it's got to be a pitch count thing. When you got a pitcher who's working a no-hitter, and you're taking him out with 2 outs to go, that's just tough. But either way, now taking over on the mound for Brookline will be number 11, Brage Golding. which means there's been some defensive substitutions out in the outfield. It looks like Jake Levin is currently out in right field, and I think Ryan Kravitz is in center now, if I'm not mistaken. So the situation will be 1 out and a runner on first. Brookline with a 7-0 lead. And indeed, it is Ryan Kravitz out in center field, and we've also got a substitution at third base, it looks like, as it's number 2, who I don't have on my roster, unfortunately. But now batting for Muddy River is number 12, Oliver San Quentin, and he takes the first pitch for strike 1. Haslam leading off from first. The pitch from Golding comes inside for ball 1. San Quentin, his last time up, he reached on an E5 and would advance all the way to third, but be stranded there. The pitch, and he smacks this one right into the outfield. It's being chased by Levin. It's over his head. This is going to go for extra bases. Haslam heading for third. San Quentin going for second. Haslam holds at third, and that's going to be a 1-out double for Oliver San Quentin. So the double to right ends the collective no-hitter and sends Haslam to third. And now batting will be the now catcher, Francisco Piguero. Piguero, excuse me. I believe that first pitch was a ball. Now the pitch from Golding, and he slices this one high. It's going to stay in the infield. It's being called for by the third baseman, and he's got it. Nice catch by who seems to be the backup third baseman, number 2, who does not appear to be on my roster, unfortunately. Might be an alternative jersey number, maybe Leander Gosling, I'm not sure. Next pitch is outside for ball 1 with 2 down. Brookline looking to end things here. The 1-0 pitch comes in high for ball 2. Here to Oliver Whiner. This pitch skips in low, and that's going to be ball 3. That one is in there for strike 1. So 2-1 the count as my internet connection continues to buffer in and out. Hopefully it'll stay with us long enough to finish this game. The 2-1 pitch comes in high for ball 3. Golding again struggling to find the zone. 7 of his last 8 pitches have missed. Pitch. That one's in high, and it's a bases-loaded walk. So Haslam scores. San Quentin to third. And Weiner to second. And Muddy River is now on the board. They trail 7-1. So Muddy River manages to undo, in order, the perfect game. And then in this inning, they undo the no-hitter and the shutout. So now coming to the plate is number 7, the third baseman, William Gonzalez. First pitch is in there for strike 1. Bases loaded. 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. Brookline leads Muddy River 7-1. The pitch comes in high and over the catcher, and the runner is coming in. They throw it to home. They go for the tag, and they got him! Oh my goodness! Great play behind the plate. I can't tell from the jersey number if that is still Nady Kessler who made that play, but whoever that was behind the backstop, a nice play there. Ending the game on a wild pitch. Oliver San Quentin thrown out at home, and of all things, to end the game on a throw out at home. And it looks like they had a backup catcher in. I can't quite tell his jersey number, though, which is disappointing. I'd like to see who it is so I can give the man proper credit for a nice play to end the game. And, of course, the nice tag by Brage Golding. So the final here at Warren Field, Brookline 7, Muddy River 1. Brookline improves to 2-0 on the season. They'll be back in action tomorrow against Reading Black. It'll technically be a road game regardless of where it is, but it'll either be out in Washington Park in Reading or it'll be here at Warren Field in Brookline. Once again, I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. I'm happy to have been able to bring you live coverage of this Lou Tompkins All-Star League 17 and under A division game. If you like my broadcasts, you want to stay up to date on them, make sure to subscribe to the channel. You can also follow me on social media. Links to my Facebook and Instagram are in the description of the video. If you want to make any requests for coverage of future games, I charge $100 per coverage of a game, with a potential additional payment of $50 if you want a highlight reel of the game put together afterwards. And if you want any special highlight videos put together of a team or of a player, I can do that too for a cost of $100 per video. You can reach out to me with these requests at my email address, jgms88@gmail.com. That's in the description of the video as well. But for right now, I'll just give this game a quick little wrap up here and recap the action before closing things out. In the top of the first inning, Jack Martel took the mound for Brookline and put the first three batters he saw down in order. Pop up to second, ground out to the pitcher, and a strikeout swinging. In the bottom of the first, after a ground out to second led things off, Eli Rothman hit a single to center, stole second, and then Andrew Silverman put runners on second and third after reaching on a two-base error in right field. Daniel Villa drew a walk to load the bases, and then Martel hit a ground out to short that drove in Rothman before another ground out to short ended the inning. Martel kept things grooving in the top of the second, ground out to short, strikeout swinging, ground out to short. Then in the bottom of the second, after another leadoff ground out, Nady Kessler drew a walk. Donnell O'Neill hit a bloop single to shallow right center, and then Declan Tracy drew a walk to load the bases. Brage Golding popped out to short, but then Eli Rothman hit a two-run single to right, drove in Kessler and O'Neill before Tracy got tagged out at third to end the inning with a 3-0 lead for Brookline. Top of the third, same business for Martel. 3 up, 3 down, ground out to pitcher, strikeout looking, ground out to third. In the bottom of the third, after a pop-out short started things off, Daniel Villa hit a single up the middle. Martel followed up with a single to right that sent Villa to third. Martel stole second, but it was ultimately a moot point as Jake Levin drew a walk to load the bases. Sam Polgreen hit a single through the left gap to drive in Villa and make it 4-0. Nady Kessler hit a single to left to drive in Martel and make it 5-0. O'Neill hit into a 5-4 fielder's choice, so Kessler was thrown out at second, but Levin managed to score and make it 6-0. Tracy was hit by a pitch to load the bases before a ground out to first ended the bottom of the third. In the top of the fourth, Martel kept it grooving, a ground out to third. He actually gave up his first base runner, a walk to Ricky Guerrero, but then Danny Haslam hit a pop-up to shallow center where Brage Golding made an absolute circus catch out in center and then proceeded to pick off Guerrero at first to end the inning on a double play. In the bottom of the fourth, Oliver Whiner took over on the mound for the starting pitcher Bailey Taylor for Muddy River. He got Eli Rothman down on strike swinging, but a dropped third strike and then a throwing error allowed him to reach first base safely. Rothman then stole second, advanced to third on a wild pitch, and Andrew Silverman drew a walk. Silverman stole second, and Villa struck out swinging. Martel popped out to third. Levin drew another walk to load the bases, and then Polgreen actually drew a bases-loaded walk to drive in Rothman for what would be the last run of the game, giving Brookline a 7-0 lead. Another strikeout, which would become a pattern for Whiner on the mound, ended the bottom of the fourth. In the top of the fifth, Oliver San Quintin reached on an E5, though you could possibly make the argument of an infield hit, but he reached on an E5. He stole second, but Piguero popped out to second, and then a ground out to short, and then a strikeout swinging with a put out at first following the drop third strike, ended the inning with no damage and left San Quintin stranded at third base. In the bottom of the fifth, Weiner took it to another level, 3 straight strikeouts, one looking, 2 swinging, to put that inning to bed pretty quickly. In the top of the sixth, leadoff walk for William Gonzalez gave Muddy River their third base runner of the day, but he would be stranded after 2 strikeouts sandwiched around a flyout to left and a nice catch out in left field by Daniel Villa. The bottom of the sixth, Brookline again had 3 strikeouts, 2 looking, 1 swinging, sandwiched around a walk for pinch hitter Justin Liu. In the top of the seventh, a ground out to short started things off, but then a walk to Danny Haslam ultimately ended the day for Martel as Brage Golding came in relief. Oliver San Quintin hit a double to right for the first base hit of the day for Muddy River, ending the collective no-hitter. Piguero popped out to third to make it 2 outs, but then back-to-back walks to Whiner and a pinch hitter who was either Humphreys or Libre, not quite sure, brought in Haslam for Muddy River's first run of the game. And then off the wild pitch, San Quintin was thrown out at home by a backup catcher, and that one ended the game. So the final score here at Warren Field in Brookline, Massachusetts, Brookline 7, Muddy River 1. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan, signing off. Thank you all for watching.